Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Elizabeth, and in today's video I will take you guys along with me as I paint the first section of my patio privacy fence. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. I am currently in that phase of life where I'm doing things to make my heart smile. All of the things that I need to bring joy and put a smile on my face, I'm giving to myself. And fresh florals is one of the main ways that I make a smile or put a smile on my face on a weekly basis. I have 3 bundles or 3 bouquets of flowers that I picked up from Publix, and I'm just going to arrange them in the 4 different vases that I have placed around my home. It really brings joy to my face and my heart to come home each day and see the different floral arrangements. So I've made the decision to hand paint this section of the fence, mainly to cut costs. I already have the paint on hand. I have 1 gallon of exterior paint, and I've already had the paintbrush assortment. It comes in like 3 different sizes. I already had all of those things on hand. So for no extra cost, I can get started today. And I wanted to make some level of progress on the patio fence each week in September. And for this week, this was the best method for me. It took about 2.5 hours to paint. I'm not going to be able to finish the entire fence, but I am going to be able to completely finish the front part. And get 2 coats on it and start on the first coat on the opposite side. The only mistake I believe I made was starting this project when the sun is at its peak. I'm in South Carolina and it's very hot and humid right now. So for me, painting a project outdoors is best done in the morning, just because at 43, trying to fight the heat and get into all of these small spaces and sections of this fence is quite the task. I'm happy that I pushed through. I love the look of it all. Like I said, for the larger section of the fence, I will invest in a very cheap paint sprayer and finish it. But this is the look that I'm ultimately going for, and it cost me nothing but my time, which I had plenty of, to get started on creating the patio space that ultimately I'd like to have. So today our sole discussion is going to be on moving goalposts. This year I've experienced a level of joy that I've never experienced in my life. And I started off thinking like I battled depression for 6 years, so I was just excited to be out of the midst of depression. But if I really think about it on a soul level, there's never been a time in my life that I've been happy and secure with who I am as a person. Even before my father passed, just me dealing with me was difficult. I felt inadequate, ill equipped for motherhood. I was very critical of who I was as a person. And my father just served as the sounding board. He saw me as greater than I saw myself. He had the ability to lift my self-esteem up because I had very low self-esteem. And that coverage from him propelled me. But at the core, I was never truly content with who I was. And this joy, I'm so grateful for. This level of peace to me is something I never even knew I could access. But the more I think about how or what it is that I got here, because I'm trying so hard to maintain this space within me that I found, and to just be grateful for it and not investigate why and how I'm here, I think would be naive of me. Life will always bring obstacles. The same way your money and finances will ebb and flow, so does the flow of life. There are seasons when things are overall going well for you and you have a lot to be happy for. But in the same instance, there are spaces in life that are extremely hard. Financially, emotionally, mentally, like just dealing with us, taking away other people, just dealing with us. There are spaces where we're disappointed in the decisions that we're making. We know that we're not living up to our potential. So I really want to know what is facilitating this peace. And the thing that I found for me is that I stopped moving the goalpost. I wanted a job that paid me on time. I got direct deposit and my paycheck never bounced, because for a long time, even though I was making great money, I rarely got a paycheck that was on time and didn't bounce. And God blessed me to find a job that pays direct deposit, pays me well, offers great health coverage for me and both of my children. And I was grateful for the job, but all of a sudden, instead of just basking in the accomplishment, I moved the goalposts. Now I need a house. Um, I need to have the financial security of a house. And God blessed me with a house. And the way everything worked out for me to become a homeowner never give me the right to say I earned it or I worked for it. Like, God literally made the provisions for me to become a homeowner. And I'm grateful. But once I got the home and the home was paid off and fixed up, the goalpost moved. Now I need land. And I'd set goals for myself my entire life. And I'd struggle, fall, fail, and then try again. But in the end, always hit the goal that I set for myself. But instead of crossing the finish line, reaching my goalpost, celebrating, I'd set a new goal for myself. Like, the minute I got to the goal post without even acknowledging it, I'd move to the next one. And recently that was land. And this piece started for me back in March on vacation, just sitting on the steps of my home, deciding that the stuff that I had stuck under my home for months, or matter of fact, I think over 3 years, not months, like literally since COVID. I was going to pull those things from under the house and I was going to enjoy the space that I'm in now. That changed my entire life. And the thing about it is, I'm realizing that before March of this year, I never just stopped and taken true inventory of all the great things that I have going on in my life. I'd accomplish a goal and move to the next goal and chase and get frustrated about the process of reaching the next goal all over again. I am so blessed, and this is the first time in my life I've been able to see it for myself. And my question to you all is, how much of the misery you feel is self-inflicted? I ask you that because I am living the exact same life that I have been living for a really long time. Even before I owned a home and I had an apartment, I went through a layoff and kept my apartment, was able to feed my kids, found a job immediately. Like, there's been coverage in every aspect in every stage of my life. I've just never been in a space where I can see and appreciate what I have. I'm always dreaming and wishing for more. This piece that I have, the only thing that changed to facilitate it is me. I grew up. I understood the importance of just stopping and standing still and looking around and appreciating it all. Instead of always feeling like I had to be chasing something or accomplishing something, I allowed myself to just enjoy now. I stopped looking for land in March, and I have not thought about land. I've even had my realtor that I was working with for the past 2 years send over deals that were in my price range. They had the electric and the septic system already there, so I wouldn't have to go through the process, and I simply said no. For this season, I have found so much peace in just understanding the joys of now. I don't feel like it's my time to have land. No matter what deal comes, I don't feel like this is my time. My spirit is telling me that in this season, I need to prepare. My job is heavily can heavily be replaced by AI technology, stockpiling a year's worth of food, personal and essential items, and doing all the things that I can to allow my emergency fund to work at a greater capacity for me is what I feel in my heart I should be doing. But this level of joy is all facilitated by changing my mindset. Life is still the same, money still ebbs and flows. The people in my life are still the people in my life. But the thing that's changed is 100% me. There isn't a goalpost. There are things I want to accomplish. I'm aligning my life with God's word and moving in the way that I feel He wants me to move. And I'm just allowing Him to lead. I'm not trying to control it all. I'm not putting up all these different lists and chasing all of these different accomplishments. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Steward what I have, love people wholeheartedly, and show Him that I'm grateful for all the blessings that He's bestowed unto me by taking care of it. But life is not as hard as I've made it out to be for myself. The biggest villain in my story is me. The person that held me back for so long is my mindset, my low self-esteem, because I think that's what it is. When you are fighting you harder than anyone on the outside could fight you, it's an esteem thing. The self-talk to myself has completely changed. And in changing my self-thought, I feel adequate and I feel like I'm enough just as I am. I don't have to rack up all these accomplishments to be great. I've learned that using moving goalposts is how I made myself feel like I was enough, or I was adequate, or I was worthy. But anytime you're filling a cup with a hole in the bottom, it never feels fulfilled. And the things that I needed to do on a core level within myself, until I got to a space where I was willing to do that work, nothing could sustain me. I could go to school and get a degree. I can get a better job. I can buy a home. I could do all of the things that I've put on my imaginary checklist, and none of it would ever have the ability to create contentment within me because my cup had a hole in it. A part of me has always felt abandoned. A part of me has always felt inadequate. And I guess I focused on what was missing versus what I had in my teenage years, because I'm a girl and I was raised by my father, and dads aren't the softest. My my dad is the man that I needed in my life, but my heart yearned for a mother to tell me what was going on and the changes that my body was experiencing, what was happening, because I literally had no clue. And I wanted someone to validate me. I have never been in a relationship that served me on a soul level, because you attract what you are. And so I didn't feel like I was enough, and I attracted people who treated me like I wasn't enough. But it's all an extension of the inner experience that I was having. My exterior life just mirrored what I was trying to hide on the inside. And by creating all these goals, the things that I felt I couldn't fix within me, the way that I thought, the way that I used life experience to validate this pain, putting imaginary goal post up for myself made me feel like I was enough for a moment. But that feeling was fleeting. And now I needed a new accomplishment to validate me in some way. I needed to focus my mind somewhere other than the reality of my life. And in all trueness, my life was never bad. I had love. I had a family that loved me, a father that loved me, a father that was always there for me. But inside, I battled me. And this peace can only be obtained when you deal with you. The problems that we're facing on the outside just mirror the inside. The people that we attract just mirror the outside. This year has flowed effortlessly for me. Money has still ebbed and flowed. My family is, like I said, still my family. But my outlook on it all is different. I'm grateful for what I have. I see the beauty in who I am. My eyes light up when I pass a mirror. But I realize that my power isn't in anything physical or anything tangible. My power is in the ability to think the way that I think. I think differently than everyone around me. And for the longest time, I thought that made me weird. I wanted to be normal. But all the things about me that I've spent a lifetime trying to put in a box are actually the things that make me powerful. And being able to show up in my life authentically as who I am, not watering it down, not trying to be someone other than who I am, has made life worth living for me. No one has held me back in my life except for me. If I attached to someone who dishonored me, the key for me is that I attached myself to them. At any time, I could detach. But it all began with a choice that I made and how long I decided to sit in the wrong choice trying to make it right. And not giving myself the grace that I extend to other people. And in this new discovery of my moving goalpost, a part of me wondered how many of you guys are just like me, where life really isn't bad. And in so many ways, you are so blessed, but you can't see it. You can't see it not because of the people or not because the things that you lack or you don't have. You can't see it because inside there's a part of you that's hurting and you haven't put the work in to heal it. I want you to know that this is the best feeling. And I really wish that I had the ability to see me in this way years ago. I really wish that in my 20s and my 30s, this woman that I now know and love full-heartedly, with flaws and all, but to love her on the level that I love her, to accept her on the level that I accept her, to not define who I am as a woman based on the mistakes I've made, but understanding that it's just part of the human experience to not get it right, that at the end of the day, I'm a student. I know nothing, and I'm an expert in no area of life. Just allowing and letting myself off the hook has made life more enjoyable. I'm looking at everything that happens to me as a learning experience. Okay? This time I may have gotten it wrong, but now I know better. I'm going to do better. And always being a student allowed life to flow different for me. You don't really need a goalpost when you're open to learning. You can look at what someone else has accomplished and use that to facilitate the life that you want. You can be open to things that you said I would never do or I'm not open to, and see where it goes for you. Always being the student takes the weight of having to have life all the way together at all times, because carrying that torch for me made me miserable. I don't have it all together. I'm learning. I'm not afraid to adapt. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. And I've experienced the greatest amount of peace in my life by just simply changing my outlook on life. And just because I'm me, and I really don't like it when someone introduces you to something like peace and don't give you any tools to get there, I'm going to give you what I did or how I got here. The first thing I did, like I told you guys, is just making a decision that I'm going to live now. And then from there, I made a decision to love me. Like, love me like I love my children. How I love my children is my purest form of love. I have never loved anyone like I love Jordan and Jeremiah. There is nothing that they can do that is going to deter me from loving them. I'm their mom, so I'm going to be a mama. But even when I'm mad, upset, they do something I don't want, I'm still going to hold space for them, and I'm still going to love my babies. We're going to get through it together. You're going to have to hear my mouth, but we're going to get through it together. I simply made the decision that anytime I make a decision that is not in alignment with who I know I am, I'm going to talk to myself like I talk to them. Whatever or whoever you love wholeheartedly, coming or going, you make the decision that you're going to love yourself in that way. How you hold space for them, how you care for them, how your heart lights up simply by them walking through a door like it's Christmas, just to see their little faces. How their smile puts an even bigger smile on your face. You're going to do that for yourself. When I walk past a mirror, my eyes light up. Just by making a decision to love me like I love my children, I've fallen in love with myself. I never even knew falling in love with myself was an option. But it changed everything. And once I really started to love on myself and give myself grace to understand, like, okay, there are things I need to change. I'm just going to work on them. And when I stumble, I'm going to offer myself encouraging words. I'm going to find a mirror, because God wastes nothing. God gave me that dad that took me to the mirror because he knew that once I got it together, the tools that my Father put in me so long ago were going to help me. And when I'm really down and I'm really sad, I can pull myself to the mirror. I can talk to myself. I love her like I love my children. And I use that. It took so much for God to get me. And even out of alignment, there's so many blessings I never saw. The job that I have, I didn't apply for. At the time, I just applied for something smaller, making a lot less money because I felt like I could get the job. And in the interview, just looking over my resume, I was offered a position that I didn't even know or have the self-esteem at the time to apply for. It changed my life. I wanted to buy a home in a gated community, and my dad told me not to. And when I got my home, this current home, I wasn't even looking for a home. Like, it all worked out the way that it was supposed to. God has always made provisions for me. I wasn't even reading my word. I had no relationship with God when I got the job, other than coming to Him when life was extremely hard. And I didn't have the relationship with Him when I got my home. But through all of my mess, He felt I was enough. And now that I can see all of the things in life that worked out for me that I didn't even know I was worthy of having, it serves as self-esteem boosters for me. That out of alignment, He did all of this for me. Giving my life to Him, how much more will He do? And I gave God my life this year. And this year for me has been the best year I have had in my entire life. The woman that I am in the inside is whole. The inner talk that I have with myself is different than how I've ever spoken to myself. I'm gentle with me. I handle myself with care. I take pride in who I am. I can make a mistake and not define myself by my mistakes. And I want this for us all. We all deserve this. I am no more special than you. And you can have this as well. You're supposed to have this as well. I expected to win the lottery and it filled the hole in my cup. I thought I'd meet the person that I was supposed to spend the rest of my life with, and they would fill the hole in my cup. I thought my kids, because I never loved anyone the way I love my kids, I thought that love would fill my cup or fix the hole in my cup. And none of it did. The truth of the matter is, you have to fix your cup. That hole, you created it. And even if you didn't create it, it's yours to fill. Loving yourself is the first step. And having the soul talk with yourself to see at the core what you need, you feel it. Loving me how I love my children, taking care of me how I take care of my children, extending grace to myself has completely filled my cup. And it doesn't matter how long you've had that hole or how deep that hole is or wide, it still can be filled. You are still strong enough, powerful enough, regardless of the size, to fill it. And once the hole is filled, filling up the cup is something that, again, you'll have to do. But life for me is in its greatest form when I fill my cup. Buying myself birthday gifts, buying myself cheap public flowers for $12. Looking at myself in the mirror and just saying, girl, you so fine. Even though I'm 20 pounds bigger than I've ever been, but I do feel like I am the finest I have ever been. Just by loving me in a way I've been waiting for the world to love me is the greatest experience I've ever had. And I want us to access it. My life has struggles. Financially, things arise. Dealing with family and relationships, things again arise. But nothing shakes me. Just by fixing the inner part of me and finding a solid place to stand on within myself, everything else changed. When it's all falling apart, I'm still whole inside. And from that place of wholeness, I know I can do anything. I know how to access God. I know how to hear his voice in a way I've never heard him before. I know where my source is. And no matter what happens, I can acquiesce without feeling less than. When life is good, I'm more than enough. When life is falling apart, I'm more than enough. But I'm also learning that when life is good, always steward, because it will always ebb and flow. That the season of abundance and where peace is easily accessed is not a permanent state of being. That there will be times where life is sending you a test and holding on to your peace will be harder. But in this season is where you build up your muscles. You build up your muscles to know how I get back to peace when I'm out of alignment with it. In this state, I'm learning so much. But there's beauty in this, and I really want us all to have it, because life is a lot easier than we make it to be. And for me, my greatest obstacle to overcome was my self-talk in the way that I saw myself. And once I changed how I saw myself, my entire life changed. My goalpost is peace. I've reached it and I won't let it move. From here, I'm just going to hold on. I'm just going to stand in the gratefulness that I feel that I've arrived here. And I'm going to center my entire life around this goalpost. No more chasing. I'm going to simply sit here at this goalpost of peace and allow everything that God has for me to flow to me. I don't have to move. I just have to be who he designed me to be. A woman who knows how to steward her money to the best of her ability. A woman who knows how to extend grace. the woman who understands that she is always a student. And as long as I immerse myself in His Word, He will never leave nor forsake me. And everything that I'm supposed to have will be automatically attracted to me. I was always more than enough. The beauty in this moment is I can now see it for myself. I want you all to know that I genuinely love you. I genuinely want the best for you. I pray that in some small way, we all take steps to get to peace. I pray that the message that has been placed upon my heart today in some way helps you or someone connected to you. We really are all interconnected, and we can think like our life experience is isolated and solely ours, but combating horrible inner talk and low self-esteem is not just something that is for me alone. And anyone who is in the spaces that I have been in mentally and emotionally, I want them to get to the other side. I tell you every video how God puts you in connection or in the sideline of someone who has access, peace, abundance, and just a level of security within themselves because you're next. We are all the exact same. We may think different, but our human experience is tied to one another. You're seeing me in this space of peace, this place of gratefulness and joy, because you're next. I love you. I appreciate your support. May God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.